legs in his shorts.
Yeah. Huh. What? We don't have a 2-shot, do we?
Yeah, this is a 2. I mean, I can
keep the 2-shot. That's fine.
It doesn't matter. Your legs are nice and
We'll find it.
It's just wearing tennis shoes and a blazer.
I love it. I love it, actually.
But I didn't know it. Well, I thought we're going to do a 2-shot, but we have 1-shots as well, right?
Yeah, we have 1 shot.
That's what I thought. Well, hopefully we get this laptop turned on here.
I'm only doing this for the show before the show.
Yeah.
The show before the show.
Are we on yet, buddy?
We are.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the show before the show.
Okay, now this piano, that sounds like my granddaughter playing the piano.
That's what. Yeah, this is Casio stuff.
Yeah.
Every time we say Casio.
Literally, I think that's a little keyboard we have might be a Casio at home. Literally, when I heard that, I was like, it sounds like Liberty going ding, 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 ding.
Dee-dee-dee-dee.
Dee-dee.
What is the laptop? What is the I don't know what the password. This is a different laptop than what I normally put in.
Should be the normal.
I've tried it. I'll do it again.
Oh wait, no.
I don't think it is.
It's the other one. It's.
You're gonna have to text it to me,
right,
or
yeah, you don't want that set over the air because most of our listeners are wonderful and they would do anything. But, we get that occasional person. Although I do like it. I was telling Joe earlier, I do like it. If listeners see us out, they will say, I had 2 listeners this weekend say something. Oh, I see what you got there. Okay.
Yeah. And it's just that laptop. That's the only one that has that.
It's a good thing you got all the passcodes, Joe.
I got to memorize at this point.
I know, that's awesome.
that does not work. It's not that.
That should be. That's the only one that has that here. So let me
you just come in here, Joe.
It is not working.
Joe will come in here and fix it all up. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire this morning.
Nope. I did that too.
Bro, Joe.
I did that too. Welcome into the show before the show, everybody. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Lizzie.
No, Vic does not have pants on, Kimberly.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy thing. I didn't have. Okay.
He's just in his boxer briefs in here.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird deal here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to wear my jacket.
It does kind of look like you have boxers on.
Really? I haven't even had a chance to see myself yet because we're trying to still get loaded.
Right. That's all right. Show before the show. They can see you in your boxer briefs.
We probably shouldn't be in a 2-shot, but. Oh. Hold on. Today? That's awesome. I've got shorts.
But because of this, almost the same color as your jacket, people think you even have shorts on.
No pants Monday.
No pants Monday.
Yeah, I got shorts on, people. I do.
I love it.
It's that time. Let's cancel this.
2-shot.
Went with Megan for day 2 of the lake down to her friend's place.
That's nice. That's why you got so much of a tan on there.
No, my legs are killing. I did one of the women that was there is a bar instructor, so I did a quick little bar class, and my legs are killing me.
A bar? Oh, you're not talking about alcohol. You're talking about lifting a bar.
No, bar. It's called bar. It's a workout bar.
Okay.
Like Pilates.
Okay, I don't know though.
You've never heard of bar?
No, it's because I'm too busy being at the bar drinking my Bahama Mama than lifting a bar.
Glenn says Biden forgets his pants all the time.
Yeah, he does.
Or he dirties them.
That's right.
And then they go, okay. Lizzie, what the hell happened with the movers? That's a crazy story. You got to tell it.
Okay.
You don't have to say the name.
I won't say the name.
And I'm not putting you in a weird spot.
Well, I will say it, but
I hate this. This is a lesson for people.
It's a lesson.
And that scared me.
It is. It had us freaked out, literally.
You should be.
We were completely freaked out by it. So we moved from one part of the county where we live in to the other part of the county where we live in. And we moved on Thursday, and my husband knew right away that a mover took something they shouldn't have taken, and he was gone for all of 5 minutes, and I was still in the house, and I didn't see him take it. But my husband is an avid 2A person, if you know what I mean. And so somebody took one of his pew-pews, and one of them admitted it, that they put it in the front of the truck, but that they would get it out. Well, once it got to the new house, it never came out. So my husband was freaking out all weekend, had to call the jurisdiction where we moved from, talk to them about it, had to talk to the movers. We opened up every box, overturned everything, not to find it at all. You know, had to tell the movers, had to tell the police, and all this. We have friends that are police officers, and they're like, if you don't report it and it ends up in a crime, then you may not be charged with it, but they're going to come knocking at your door. And so, we reported it. Well, then kind of late last night, we have two cats, and they're in our back room because we're not letting them in the house yet because we don't want them to get lost. My husband was working on a big TV that you have to go into the back room to just get it all worked up or whatever. And then my daughter said, I think one of the cats is missing. And my cat's name is Nerdy. And they're like, where's Nerdy? Where's Nerdy? And all of a sudden, my husband's going to chase after Nerdy. And he's like, Nerdy ran underneath this board or whatever and then sat there. And as he looked, he's like, holy crap, there it is. And so my husband had that device in a case, like in a, I don't want to say the word and get us in trouble, but in a heavy locked case. But then he also had it in a plastic bin with 4 pocket knives. So he couldn't believe it. It was hidden so far and strategically, obviously hidden. But when he opened it up, the pew-pew was gone. It was gone. So they have it. So, which there was only, about 6 people that it could have been that were with the moving company. And so the old jurisdiction is now telling the new jurisdiction to come and get that because they're going to dust for prints. And I did inform the mover, and I'm like, and they were like, at first the mover was like, I trust my employees. And I'm like, maybe you do, but I'm just telling you, I also, trust my husband, who is very particular with his things. And this particular move, we were so organized. We knew what was in every box. We had it charted. We knew where everything is. No one could have stolen something. No one, without us noticing it. Well, I think somebody's going to go jail. Going to go jail. And you know what? Obviously, police officers do a great job. So, but this was taken so serious. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever had a car stolen and you call and they take a report, or somebody breaks into your garage or whatever. And it might be days for a report or whatever because they're so busy. Not this. People were calling us all weekend long. Did you find it? Did you do this? My husband had to leave an initial first message, and with I want to say a minute, they called back, kept checking on it. Do you have do you have the identification number for it? Do you have this? And he wasn't going to be able to have the identification number on it until today, because where we bought it said they couldn't give us the identification number on it. However, when he found the box and the case that it was in, the identification number's on there. So it'll be dusted for prints, and the police will be able to narrow down to which one of the 4.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
I sent you another.
My husband thinks he knows which one did it anyway, but until there was proof of it, everyone was denying it, of course. I didn't take it.
You mean after the move was complete?
Right. After the move was complete.
So you spoke to somebody in the office and they went and asked.
We talked to the owner.
Yeah.
We talked to the main guy there. We talked to they have a regional manager. I mean, everybody was talked to, and everyone, of course, denied doing it. But when we talked to a friend that was a detective, he's like, the one that knew where the box was, but he couldn't get to it. That's your guy. That's the one that took it. So we also know something peculiar too, is in our downstairs, there's a back room and a bedroom. And we kept telling them to put things in the back room, and they kept putting them in the bedroom. It just seemed even weird to me then. I even turned to my daughter and I said, am I not making myself clear? Or are these people just simply ignoring me, or not very smart, that they're putting nothing in our back room? Like literally they put nothing in our back room, but like a box and I think it's just one box. And they put everything in a bedroom. Now it makes sense. They weren't going in there for some particular reason.
Oh yeah, of course not.
Yeah. So,
That just
and they
pisses
weren't a
me
very
off.
smart criminal because they left everything but they took the pubic.
Mhm.
Everything else, so there'll be prints on it, and we know we know exactly which one. Well, we don't know exactly which one did it, but we know that 4 or 5 of them were involved. So
Damn, what a story. Hey, real quick, I pray that works out for you guys, and I think it'll be fine.
I think I don't even care if that thing is found, to be honest with you, because I just want the person to go to jail
Yes.
or not to hurt somebody with it. And I
Correct.
wanted my husband, who's it's registered to be cleared of the fact that because he was going crazy all weekend. Like I'm not crazy. This was here. And so he was actually he was pissed when he saw it, how hidden it was and how they tried to play us for a fool. It was pissed. And when he opened it was gone. Panic sends through you because literally there's something out there now with your name on it that could end bodily harm or kill someone. But now we're relieved because both jurisdictions know they're going to handle it. The movers know, and nobody now believes we're crazy. They absolutely know somebody stole it.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that story. That's for people to learn and see.
Learn a lesson. Well, and to never. My husband should have been.
You got to watch with. I mean, I don't know what else you could have done.
I don't know that we could have done anything differently at that point. I really don't, because my husband is very careful with those things. But he had taken them out, put them on the side of the bed because he got several of those things. Told nobody to go in there. And I don't even know where I was at the house when they went into the bedroom and took it. But see, there was 6 of them. And I had my granddaughter that day. So I was focusing on her, not exactly the movers, every single move. So, but that is something that, and I think the mover, the owner, and I'm not going to give the name because they're actually wonderful people. I do not fault them for that. I was
Not their deal.
For 26, they're going to be ultimately responsible because shit rolls uphill when you're the owner. I understand that. And they will have to buy my husband back what they stole or use their insurance for it or whatever. But you're not even allowed to move those. That's the thing, is we had to sign something that those things would not be moved by the mover, but one of the movers knew he had it and knew he put it in the truck. So
Sherry says, we had a mover steal half a bottle of cologne.
of all things, that's just a good lesson. It's like, just be very careful. I mean, I think we already all know that when somebody's in your house that you do not know, they're not looking at you like I'm looking out for you. A lot of them are in there looking for what can I get from you. So it's, it is what it is. And there was a lot of weird things that happened that day, like things were never put in the room that we asked them to put them in. And I've never had that. But now that makes sense why they would not go in the back room, because it was in there and they didn't want to bring attention to it.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. I do appreciate that. By the way, Greg, I did see, I never had anything stolen during a move. I'm a former mover. I did a bunch. Could not even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I did see that for St. Louis people. Elliot Davis retiring August 2nd after 45 years.
That's right. And he gave him a 9-month notice, apparently.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, good for him.
Even everybody's trying to get out of local news, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing I thought too, that Elliot, he's still very vivacious. He's worked long enough that he absolutely has a right to retire and enjoy it. But I think he really enjoyed that job. I think he knows. And when he had a very avid Facebook page with wonderful things to try to find out crime, and that was shut down. And I think he kind of...
No, they emasculated him.
They sure did.
That's what happened in local news a lot.
Yeah, they sure did. I agree with you, Vic.
Yeah. Anyway, hey guys, let's go ahead and start the show. We appreciate it. guys, welcome to cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house. Welcome to July 1st. Start a new month. Things keep rocking and rolling here on Cancel This. Of course, we're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. Troy says, should have hired Blue Line Movers.
I should have. As soon as that happened, I should have done it. I thought that they only wouldn't come all the way to Missouri just to move me 20 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't know if they would do that either.
I knew
honest to God, don't know.
Yeah, I thought they didn't. I thought.
Do they?
I know that they will come from Texas all the way up to Illinois or Missouri to move you far away, but I didn't think they just did I moved 20 minutes, 15
That's right.
minutes.
Our friend John Rourke, the Great American Cleanup, comes on the show quite a bit.
Yeah.
He has Blue Line Movers. If you have any questions, let us know.
And it was not Blue Line Movers who did that. So just
Yes.
make that clear.
For those who just joined us, Lizzie had an important item taken out of her house, stolen. So you have to be careful when
That's
movers
right.
are around.
That's right.
Coming up on the show today, Marjorie Taylor Greene sounding the alarm on BRICS when it comes to finances. One big thing that concerns me when it comes to our dollar. Lots of Joe Biden news over the weekend to get back into. I love how Trump's just kind of skating through now, as he should be. July 11th coming up, though, that sentencing date. We'll talk about that. You know what? Here's the deal. Big story out of New York. If you point anything at a cop, BB gun that looks like a gun, or you're getting your ass shot.
Yeah, you are.
And I don't care if you're 13 or you're 93. You can't do that. And a life lost, and it's stupid because parents are not teaching kids. Steve Bannon still, I'm wondering what's going to happen with this. He's allegedly supposed to go to a prison sentence now. Won't be delayed by the Supreme Court because of his refusal to work with the subpoena regarding J6. We'll get into that. The Supreme Court also today coming into play when it comes to the immunity case with Donald Trump. We talked with Brad Young about this a couple times before. I really don't know what's going to play out with this because I think they're going to try to please both sides somehow, some way. I just don't see how it's going to work to Trump's benefit 100% if he gets some sort of immunity. I don't know. I really have no idea where we're going to go with that. So we'll have to see, but it could be a decision for the ages when it comes to what presidents get. We'll get into that. Anything you guys want to bring up, please do. As always, let us know if there's anything we missed from the weekend, if there's anything we missed in general. You educate us and entertain us. We try to do the same with you. And of course, we have the People's Platform. Jump in. You can do that from Facebook and X and Rumble and YouTube. We appreciate you guys doing all of that as we do what we can do. Okay. I hope everybody had a good weekend. If anything happened, you can let us know from that standpoint as well. We talked about Lizzie's weekend. That was awesome doing what she did. Just nice Trump flags everywhere. I was down at the lake.
Don't you love that?
Lake of the Ozarks just for a day. Saw Trump love everywhere.
Love that.
Love everywhere.
As it should be.
So we enjoyed that. Anyway, what do we get? Oh, what he was talking about my legs. Did you say Logan or something?
Yeah, we were talking about, how I got something stolen. And so somebody on there told
you
steal hearts. And I said, no, I don't know that you steal hearts, but somebody stole your pants today.
Yeah, you can go to the 2-shot if you want to, Joe. I'll let that happen. There you go.
See, I like it. It looks good. Although on the show before the show,
there's shorts.
People asked if he had shorts. And I'm like, no, he's in his boxer briefs. I just said that because it was fun to say it, but he really does have shorts on.
There's shorts. Yeah.
Your legs are really tanned, so you can get by with that. It looks really good.
Oh, thank you. It's little son in a bar class. There you go.
There you go.
Anthony says, I finally saw a Biden sign in fluorescent. It said support democracy, not a dictatorship.
Yeah, that is the dumbest thing I ever heard of. And we've already done this whole thing on the show. I mean, come on. They don't even understand how to use the word democracy. So it's like right there, you see that sign and you're like, a dumbass lives there. That's what you say. It's a triple D.
Yep. And then Megan says, what happens at the lake stays at the lake.
Absolutely.
If we were only that scandalous.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping in, guys. We're here Monday through Friday, of course. We had a huge show Friday. Our biggest live show.
Yeah, it was our biggest live show.
So we're grateful for that. Also, when it comes to things from the weekend, Joe Biden's fallout, here's the deal. He has got to be out, right? He's got to be out. But the Democratic Party, the DNC, everybody all over, they're pushing him forward, people. The DNC as of now is pushing him forward. as crazy as that sounds, and maybe it isn't crazy when it comes to politics, I don't know, but the DNC has sent out an email. They sent out an email to their supporters over the weekend with checklist and to-do list on how to talk to Trump supporters and people in your family who are going to rip Joe Biden for having a bad debate. They literally put at the top of this, if there's one thing we learned from the debate, it's not that Joe had a bad night. It's that Donald Trump is coming to hurt you and take away your freedoms. This is the kind of bullshit that's being pushed out right now, that Donald Trump is a dictator. They're starting it back up again.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to push him through. As bad as that was, as bad as that is, as bad as it would be, we all predicted on Friday he was gone.
Yeah, we all did predict it. And, they're doubling down.
Yeah, they're doubling down,
They are
tripling down
today.
on this lie.
Uh-huh. Well, and you know what I think it is Biden is refusing to leave. Bottom line, that's what it is. And he's the only one that can give up the delegates. And so now Jill is even saying, oh my goodness, he's going to stay there. He just, was just a little off this weekend or at the debate. So we all think he should leave. Probably a lot of Democrats think he should leave. But the problem is if he doesn't, they can't make him do that.
I know, but it's so bad. There's no way. They're just hoping that time kills the memory of how bad that man is and was. And it wasn't just Friday or Thursday night. He was bad Friday.
Yeah, he was.
He is lost. He is dazed. He is confused as ever. And Jill Biden, who is flat out evil because she got herself into a problem with this whole, you sell your soul, you have a problem. Sometimes people make mistakes and then people will I don't even know if I want to use the word or not, but what they'll do is they'll threaten them. What is the word? If somebody's holding you to do something, they'll
like they're coercing
they'll extort you.
Extort, yes.
They'll extort you. If you don't do this, then I'm going to tell.
That's right.
If you don't do what I want you to do, then I'm going to go tell. Whereas, and most of the time, if somebody tells and the person who is doing something bad that doesn't want that person to know, most of the time it would be fine.
Yeah.
It's continuing to go on with it is the problem. And she's going on with it over and over and over. He's there. They know he will not win an election against Donald Trump. They know it. There's no way in hell. There is no, and there will not be another debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. There won't be.
I don't see where they could.
And Donald Trump should not waste his time and get on a damn stage with him again.
Right.
It should not happen.
No.
I'm not sure what's going on. It's probably not what we think, according to Benny. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be true. And that nobody on the Democrat side likes the vice president. Nobody. So now they're like, what do you do? And I'm hearing from a lot of different sources that the Dems don't want him and they want to get him out, but he's just refusing to leave. So, the whole thing is a train wreck. It's embarrassing. I talked to people this weekend that are not really that political at church. They vote to the right, but they were sitting around and the debate just looked so ridiculous. It was, if you're a Trump lover, you know that Donald Trump killed the debate. Wasn't his best ever that he's done. But if you're not political and you watch that, it just looked like America's.
He was fact checked, by the way. Zero lies.
Zero lies. He didn't lie about.
He might not have answered the questions in a certain time or two that I wanted him to answer. And I love him, but he didn't lie.
He did not lie.
And the next day, Joe Biden came out and said, I may be old. My best days. He's literally saying my best days may be behind me, but at least I didn't lie. Fact checked. He lied at least 4 or 5 times. Big time lies.
Yeah.
By the way, the 25th Amendment, because Pam says that word is always out there. That the Democrats
that's always floating out there.
Will 25th them when it needs to be done.
That's right. And would that surprise you, Vic? If they 25th them? It wouldn't be either.
What it stipulates is that the vice president becomes president.
Right.
Should the incumbent president die, resign the office, or has been deposed through impeachment.
That's right.
He's not going to pass.
No.
I just don't.
Jill is doubling down.
But he wouldn't resign.
Yeah.
So how would they use the 25th Amendment?
I don't know, because it boils down to a legal system where, he has delegates, and if the delegates won't agree to pass it on to somewhere else, you're at a stalemate. So then what do you do?
The vice president would then become president.
That's right.
But
and they don't like her.
But she's terrible. She
is
can't
terrible.
beat Trump.
No.
So they're damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's gotten that bad. But if I'm a Democrat now and I see the Democratic Party trying to still push him forward, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on.
There is no way in hell you can honestly look yourself in the face in a mirror with any integrity, any sort of humbleness about you, and say, yeah, he's better than Donald Trump. You know that.
Can't you see them JFKing him and then blaming it on MAGA?
Of course. Oh, I would not put them past that at
Yeah.
all. I mean, and that's sad we're saying that, but I could totally see that they off him and somehow blame it on some crazy person and turn it into another J6 thing.
Yeah, I could
For
see
sure.
if that would be a crazy, if it
Yes.
hadn't already happened before.
Mhm.
That would have been definitely a crazy statement that I just made. However,
That's right.
Paul tells us to engage the Black Swan event that is coming.
Yeah. I don't
It's
think
coming.
we still had it.
Integrity regarding Roland, the fact that you could still try to vote for a man that you know is a fake, is a
Mhm.
plant, has no business even being in the position. And then if you're going to go and still vote for somebody like that,
Mhm.
then you have to check your integrity, because you know that you're making the process one that it should not be. You know you're doing it in a way that is not right, not fair, not just, not honest.
Yeah.
Chris says, I said it before and haven't waived. It's going to be Joe unless he's gone the way of the dodo.
That's
The
right.
Dems have painted themselves into a corner. They are now stuck. There is no doubt about
That
that.
is so true.
Well, Megan
So
brings up a
true.
great point too, and this is I'm glad we can bring it up now. If we can force Merrick Garland to give up Biden's tapes, and we see and hear how bad he is, then we have no choice but to invoke the 25th. What she is talking about,
Mhm.
and this has become an issue for Speaker Mike Johnson, is to get the tapes released from Robert Hur, Special Investigator
That's
Robert
right.
Hur. Remember, he
Yep.
said Robert Hur is the smartest guy in the room, or at least comes across that way now,
Mhm.
because he said Joe Biden was not fit for trial. Of
That's
course
right.
he's not.
Of course he isn't.
No, he belongs in a padded room with ice cream cones. He
Yeah.
does. He does. He is not fit for trial, which means he's not fit for anything else, much less door greeter at Walmart.
Mhm.
So they're trying to get those tapes released.
so does this mean since he did such a good job during the debate, he's actually fit for trial now?
Right. That does it. That's another thing. They back him into corner. If he was so great in the debate, he can now stand trial.
Right.
But they know he was awful. They absolutely know it. So, I mean, they have so backed themselves into a corner right now.
Judicial Watch also trying to get the tapes. Yeah, we appreciate it. Logan says it's never going to happen. I agree.
I agree.
It won't
We'll
happen.
never see the tapes.
And then, of course, if they release the tapes, you know that it's done on purpose.
Mhm.
Okay. Donna says, I know a gal from Brazil that worked very hard to get her citizenship. She is pissed about these
Oh,
immigrants.
I bet she is, Donna.
Yeah. I ran into a guy last week. His daughter dates a woman from Dubai. She couldn't get her green card. Couldn't get citizenship here. It was going to take a long time. She's going back. She has to go back to her country. Their family's devastated.
Oh,
The son and her were getting close to getting married. And they were talking about just coming through the southern border.
yeah.
That's what everybody's talking about now, because that's what Joe Biden and Democrats have done it. They've done it.
It is. There's so many good people that could be here. We have friends that are Chinese, and the mom comes over here on a visa and can only stay so long and then goes back. And she's working very hard, and it's been years trying to get her American citizenship, and they sent her back. And she would be a productive person in the American society. So, I mean, it's so unfair. The immigrants have to be the most pissed, I would think.
Well, yeah, it is. But this whole deal with Biden, and they're doubling, tripling down in regards to what he is and what he has done. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, look at some of the videos from this was Friday, and we told you he went to North Carolina. They were literally chanting in the crowd. He went to an all black, and I hate this. He went to an all black congregation, all black, and where it was lots of energy. And they're chanting 4 more years, 4 more years, 4 more. I mean, how could anybody in their right freaking mind chant 4 more years for Joe Biden hours after the debate?
I don't know. You got to be.
Who are the people that are being played?
Yeah,
Are they that stupid?
they have to be. They have to be.
Or are they getting paid? Or are they that racist against white people? If it's an alt, but I just didn't understand what was going on. And maybe it was just the shot that I saw, and I'm like, I hate this. Oh, he prayed at the pew. Yeah, here's the guy that everybody was chanting 4 more years for. Look at him in the background. This was Friday, hours after the debate.
I saw in him then the same character that I see in him today. And even though he has faced unimaginable tragedies, his optimism is undaunted. His strength is unshakable. His hope is undeterred.
Let me go home.
Look at his
I
face.
saw in him then the same
Show his face
character that I
again.
see
She
in
is
him
an
today.
evil witch.
She's evil.
An evil witch.
He doesn't even know what's going on. And her dress, that's pandering too, because it's a black dress and it has the words vote in white. It looks like the Black Lives Matter signs. How condescending and stupid is that dress? Yeah, Les is saying.
We just keep looking. We just keep looking at that face.
Yeah, that's awful. That his face is awful right now. It really is.
Can we play it one more time? Thank you, Joe.
I saw in him then the same character that I see in him today. And even though he has faced unimaginable tragedies, his optimism is undaunted. His strength is unshakable. His hope is undeterred.
Yeah. Face melt. Look at that dress.
Ridiculous.
Is it possible he's acting? No, Bendy. No way in hell. He's not smart enough.
Yeah, early on I could see when people said that he was acting. I truly don't believe it. He really does look like any of you that had a loved one that had dementia or Alzheimer's. That's very similar to how they look.
Well, here's what the Democrats did. They sent out this email that I was talking about at the beginning of the show to their supporters, talking about how Joe Biden still is the best man for this country. Literally sending that out just days after the man had the worst debate in the history of this country, after the worst presidency in the history of this country, who put together the worst administration in the history of this country, which includes the worst press secretary in the history of this country. Yes, he looked like he was about ready to cry, and that's what I said.
Sure did.
He's like, let me go home. I'm done with this. Just let me go home.
Yeah, it's so.
And there are still absolute idiots that want to vote for this man. And if you want to vote for him, you're an idiot. You're a flat out idiot after Thursday night. I can't be sweet and kind and nice about it. If you still want to vote for Joe Biden, you're a flat out idiot. That's right. I'm calling you an idiot after what you saw happen Thursday night and after what you see happen on Friday. You are an absolute idiot.
Yeah, and Jill standing in there in her vote Black Lives Matters type dress is one of the most evil people. She is pushing her husband. She's talking, and we've noticed right there in that clip that you just played, Joe, that she's doing all the talking now, and he's standing there looking like he's actually in agony, like he doesn't know what's going on, or he pooped in his pants, or he doesn't even know. And, one of the things people are saying is, have they stopped giving him the Adderall? Have they stopped giving him the medication? Because before he could be a little bit better, or are they still giving him these cocktails of things and it's just not working at all because he's just that far gone? I don't know. But, Trisha's saying she is running the show, putting Joe in that position. She definitely is. And there's only two things you can say about Joe Biden is either she is evil incarnate and look all the way back. She's done nefarious things all the way back. Or is she getting paid so much to continue to do this? I guess there is a third option that somebody's making her do it and they're threatening. Other than that, there's no good option. None.
Somebody said they saw your, who are they talking? Stepson on Alex Jones' InfoWars show? Who are they talking about?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I don't have a stepson. You don't have a stepson.
I don't have a stepson. I
All
don't
right.
know. Whoever's on the chat line saying they saw a stepson, I don't have a stepson. Vic doesn't have a stepson.
Could they be talking? Was your son-in-law on Alex Jones InfoWars?
If he was, I don't know.
Okay. Anyway,
Maybe, I don't know.
Yay, China, coming from Pam. So the Democrats sent this note out again. Donald Trump is going to be a dictator. He's going to take away everything if he's the president. You have to vote for Joe Biden. Okay, then now we have word leak out over the weekend as well. Listen to this. Now we're hearing that the Biden family says Joe should be president. He still should be in the race. He's not going to leave. They said he is just fine, that it's his aides' fault, that the aides did not prepare him well.
Oh, stop it.
And that his longtime aide, who stood in as Donald Trump in their practice debates, didn't do a good enough job to get him ready to debate Donald Trump. Once again, they start deflecting. They start pointing the fingers. It's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault.
Yeah. I mean, point at everybody. I mean, okay, that aide. But he was in Camp David for 8 days preparing, and that's the best he can do. That's not the aide's fault. You can prepare somebody, but when you're the one that's supposed to step up as the president and talk, and that's how you sound, that's crazy.
It's a party full of narcissists.
It is a party full of narcissists. I mean, when you think about that,
you could be.
I mean, I don't even get how the Democrat Party, I mean, if you break it down, I should actually say we do know how they got that way. We absolutely know how they got that way. The progressives hijacked the Democrat Party, because we've said this on the show before. The Democrat Party back in the day was similar to what the Republican Party is today, where you're hardworking people who don't want to pay as much taxes, who love, Americana ways. Now, the Democrats are no longer the blue dog Democrats. I don't care if you're still voting that way. You don't understand politics. You just absolutely don't, because it is now a progressive party who absolutely loves to tax you little minions all day long, legislate your small businesses, steal the American dream. And so if you do not see that, I agree with you, Vic, they're either idiots or so uninformed and stubborn.
If you're uninformed, you're an idiot. If you're stubborn, you're an idiot.
I mean,
it is.
And it's not.
There's no other way. There's no other way about it anymore.
That's right.
There's not.
That's right. And it's not.
You can't keep making excuses for supporting Joe Biden.
You can't. There is none. And if that person watched the debate and is still voting for him, I don't know what to say to you, because this isn't politics as usual, when you could sit at the coffee table and have the Democrats and a Republican sit together, because both of them used to still love America. Now the Democrat Party, they don't like this country.
Had another conversation over the weekend. Once again, if you fly a flag, you're voting Republican. You love this country. If you don't, chances are, or if you're against it, you're probably a liberal Democrat.
Yeah. I think the odds are higher, to your point, than less. I mean, I see an occasional Democrat fly a flag, but I mean, that's not very often. It really isn't, because it is now, the Democrats are the party of the whole world order, globalization, wrecking this country. They're not, and the thing of it is a lot of union people, have switched over to the Republican Party, which I call the American way. If you're still a Democrat and you're voting left, do you not understand your union? And I am pro, no one in my family right now is union. I have extended relatives that are union, and I am pro-union. So this is not union bashing, but almost all the union workers that I know, they're voting for Trump, because they know that the Democrats do nothing for the unions other than maybe high union bosses.
Well, after Joe Biden's debate, the USA.gov poll, once again, this is more of a liberal-leaning poll, now showing that 47% of Democrats who were surveyed say that Joe Biden should not be running for president. They said he's not. 47%. 40. This isn't 47% just don't see him favorably. 47% say he shouldn't even be running.
That's right. Yeah.
47% say he should not even be running.
And they have backed themselves. Like Chris said earlier, they backed him in the corner because there's nobody good. And because before, you could look at the Republican Party, there's several people, maybe not as great as Donald Trump, but they could do the job really well. On the Democrat side, name me one true good politician on the left that could run this country. They're all progressive. They're all progressive. And progressivism in politics is the destruction of America. They have no one. They have no one. And you know the names that are being milled around? Hillary, Michelle Michael, Newsom. Those are three very progressive, hate America. They will shut your country down. They'll put a mask on your face.
Democrats will not put Hillary Clinton up if they ever got rid of Biden. It's not happening.
No, that's just
they know
thrown around.
she is DOA.
That's right.
Deceased on arrival. Let's just put it that way. There is no way in hell.
That's right. And Jay's saying it's the union leadership that's liberal. The average union worker has seen the light. That is just a fact.
Yeah, more people may not even vote because of what they had seen happen, and they would do.
Yeah. You know what? And that is something, because a lot of people saw that debate, and if they're not that political, all they're seeing is the memes that are floating around of Donald Trump arguing with Joe Biden on golf and this or that. And I heard a lot over the weekend that, okay, my closest friends, they thought Donald Trump killed it. But there are some acquaintances that were like, that was just two babies up on the stage fighting about golf. That's what they took over it, or out of it.
Okay. That's surprising to me.
Yeah, I heard several people say
Those
that
are
over
people
the
who
weekend.
didn't watch the debate.
Yeah,
Right.
obviously
They
didn't.
could not have watched the debate. I agree, because the debate, Donald Trump didn't lie once, and he was fact checked by Democrats. So
I did not see this last night, but this is something that he has said in the past, and we showed the soundbite with Vivek last week. And somebody told me I was wrong for saying Vivek. They said it's Vivek, so I started saying Vivek. So if anybody sees me or hears me say Vivek, I'm now saying Vivek because I was told I was
Vivek
wrong.
or Vivek?
I was told that I said it wrong when I said Vivek, so now I was told to say Vivek.
Well, and apparently,
So now I'm saying Vivek.
okay. Well, Vivek, according to Kimberly on Levine last night, still says Michelle is coming.
And that's the point that I was bringing up.
Yeah, and that if I was a betting person, I still see Michelle Michael coming.
It's the only, even though she's held no political office or held no
matter.
businesses and has done nothing.
Yeah, but he has a history of community organizing and has a history so far back with Obama and his little cronies there in Chicago that he was dating him back in college. So, I mean, you can't prove me wrong.
Vivek. Connie says Vivek. It's Vivek.
Vivek. Okay.
The other thing when it comes to Michelle Michael Obama is the fact that, do you really think that Barack Obama, if you believe that he has had anything to do with the current presidency, would actually sit back and not be involved for another 4 years?
Oh, he's going to be involved.
There is no effing way in hell. And they know that there's no Vivek. Now Glenn says it's Vivek.
I don't know. Vivek.
I don't know if Glenn likes to joke around and be a smart ass. So I don't know.
Yeah. And Donna's saying, and anybody's saying that we know that there's probably a small group of people that is running everything up there in DC. And we know it's Jake Sullivan. We know it's Obama. But Obama's made it very clear when he talked about wanting a third term that he could talk to somebody in an earpiece. He's on video saying that. And of course, the Democrats say, oh, he was just joking. No, he was not joking. He still has his mansion there in DC. He's still calling all the shots. I mean, anybody that works in DC knows that's true.
Yeah, Barack would be behind Michael 100% every day.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I get it. It would happen. How about more Biden craziness following Thursday night from his events? This is just, once again, this is what they're pushing and trying to tell you is good.
The northern military trying to get the Apaches back in the reservation, and they're relying like hell to them. And they're all sitting on a bluff. And John Wayne was sitting with two Indian, they were Apaches. And one of them looked at John Wayne and said, these guys are nothing but lying, dog-faced pony soldiers.
I think Jill forgot.
No, Jill's like, oh my God, he's telling a story.
Yeah.
And look at her face as this happens.
Yes.
She's like, oh shit. He's doing it again. Look at her. She's like, oh,
he's doing it again. I mean, that's the look. I mean, that's the look of somebody that's like, oh shit, I can't intervene here. I can't stop. She knows damn well what's wrong with her husband. She knows, and she's standing back there going, I can't pull him off fast enough. So, I mean, she knows. And that is one evil woman right there.
Indian, they were Apaches. And one of them looked at John Wayne and said, these guys are nothing but lying, dog-faced pony soldiers.
What's he even talking about?
The northern military trying to get the Apaches back in the reservation. And they're relying like hell to them. And they're all sitting on a bluff. And John Wayne was sitting with two Indian, they were Apaches. And one of them looked at John Wayne and said, These guys are nothing but lying, dog-faced pony soldiers.
He's obviously talking about a movie, or he's
The Northern military.
Yeah.
He's trying to
Trying to
get
get
news
the
on it because he's talking about John Wayne.
Right. Yeah. And Todd's like, yeah, that wasn't a movie, was it? So, I mean, but regardless, the whole point of that we're making is the look on her face as a wife is like, oh shit, there he goes. We've all had that, where maybe not about our spouse, but about of our children, and our children does something, but we can't intervene and embarrass our children. We're like, oh shit. We roll our eyes. I think for a second she forgot she was on camera, because I think that was so outlandish what he was saying that she couldn't even contain herself to go, oh my gosh. So, I mean, maybe they put her up to it because as of last Friday, me, you, and Eric thought, okay, this was done on purpose to usher him out. That was what it seemed obvious on Friday when they didn't cut the camera, when Jill was ushering him out. But then over the weekend, they were like, no, he's going to stay there. And then when you get down to the brass, you know, the brass of it all, you can't just pull him out. Like you can't. There's delegates that people agreed to only vote for Joe Biden. So then you got to go back to getting delegates. So unless he walks out himself, and his family apparently is doubling down.
Yeah, they're doubling down. They made
They
that clear
are.
over the weekend. They
They
blamed
sure did.
everybody else but him. Everybody else.
Yes.
And then I don't know if he's just trying to make a name for himself again. Bill O'Reilly coming out and say, yes, it's 100% over. He's got word. Biden's done. It's out. That they're just looking for the right time now to take him out and how they're going to do it.
Well, and I could see that they are still, like Chris said earlier, they are so backed into the corner. They want to get him out. They don't know how to get him out. It could be a moot point that Jill is saying he still wants to run because they haven't found the exact person that they're going to put in there. To me, and I've said this, that Joe Biden, I don't think he was going to get out until up to the debate. I thought they were going to push him all the way to the end. The logical choice is only Michelle Obama. She's the only one that could rev the Democrat base up.
The only one.
And
that's only because she was associated with Barack Obama before.
Correct.
When things were positive, and she's the only one that the media protects 100%.
100%.
And promotes a great message with zero factual credit.
Correct.
Giving to other people, but just say, oh, well, we'll give her all the credit in the world with no checks or balances.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, Todd's saying the ticket would be Newsom and Kamala. If that's the case, they would lose just as bad as Joe Biden. Nobody likes Newsom. They don't. So, I mean, he's better looking than Joe Biden. He's a nice looking man, but that is not a winning ticket.
And you can't subpoena him to a cognitive test. You just can't.
No.
You can't do it by legal form. You can't. It's not lawful right now.
Yeah.
Connie says he just thinks people just love her arms. Michelle Obama.
Oh, they do love you. I mean, she is one built woman. I mean, she is so built. I've never seen a woman, so built that you still see the Adam's apple. And, I could go on and on about that. She got quite a good looking Adam's apple.
Glenn said it could be our first trans president after our first gay president.
That's right.
And of course, the first gay president was Barack Obama, because we've already been told that by all the people who've come forward regarding their affairs with him over the years. And nobody would have crushed him if he would have just been honest after the fact. But he wasn't. He's still lying about it. So
correct. He said, but it will come out in our lifetime. This is my opinion, but I believe in our lifetime. Why has they pushed the bath? They start off with the bathroom issue with Target, and then it's rolled all the way now to pushing transgender on our children. They're all making it, attractive, so to speak, to have pedophiles, do things with our children. What is it called? The word's escaping me, like minor attracted. All that stuff is for a reason. They do all this for a reason. So when it becomes completely acceptable to most of our society, or even the ones that don't think it's okay, they're desensitized. They're going to at some point say, we couldn't say it earlier, just like Ellen DeGeneres. They couldn't come out of the closet any earlier. But Michelle is Michael.
Donna, we've explained this a million times on the show, and I'm not trying to come across angry or crass. How could she have children if she is a he?
She didn't.
That's the point. They have another best friends family couple. Yes. The girls look exactly like the parents of their best friends. And there are no pictures of her being pregnant.
Ever.
Zero. Yet she's out in the community doing all these things all these years and nothing.
Well, and there's nothing.
Those are some of our most popular segments that we've done.
But they were, here's the deal. If you are proud of the way your child came about, whether it was in your womb or someone else's womb, spoken from a mama of 5 kids, 2 of them are adopted. Adoption is a glorious blessing. So you should just say that. But the fact they didn't say that is when you're a liar, think about people that you know that's a liar. They do so many things out of character because they couldn't just come out and say, oh, they're adopted, because in their minds, they're thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to find out that Michael was really, or Michelle was really Michael, who it has been proven that Obama was gay in college and one of his boyfriends was Michael. And you find that picture, it looks exactly like Michelle, but they couldn't say that then because they're going to say, and they're going to blame it on conservative Christians and say they were so intolerant that we couldn't come out with it. But once they've desensitized people to that, it's going to come out. It absolutely is. And I will be shocked and I will say that I was wrong if that person is not really Michael. But too many people understand that are close to them. That's exactly what it is. And why do you think this through, you guys? Michelle Obama became so incredibly close to Ellen DeGeneres. Hello. Now, that doesn't mean that you can, a lot of people hate Ellen DeGeneres now. It isn't because she's gay. It's because she was an awful, mean employer.
Sherry says the Nesbitts are the parents. The proof are in the photos.
Yep, for sure.
And we've talked about that over and 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 over again.
But then Megan says, apparently we're wrong. Sasha has the same buck teeth as Michelle, though, or as Michael, though. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, so we were talking about this over the weekend to somebody that said, I just heard that Michelle Obama is really Michael. And I just said, I believe this. And I've been saying it for, over a decade, that this will come out in our lifetime. It will.
I don't know if you said this earlier, Lizzie. But you've got the situation here where Chris says that she's just the boogeyman to keep us engaged.
And it could be.
And they all know they're not going to do it. Then all of a sudden, Biden just stays in.
Yeah.
Stays in. And
I think up until Friday, I literally thought that Biden was going to stay in until everybody was freaking out, because if Biden gets in again, Obama still can destroy our country because Obama's part of that regime. And then someone, I think it was Mike, said, you can't find any high school pictures of Michelle. That's all part of it. You can't find any pictures that far back of her anywhere. There's no history of her. No one knows where she came from. People, some liberals have tried to make it up to defend her, but they can't find any of it. But they can sure find Michael from college.
I've got that picture. I'm giving it to Joe right now that you were talking about earlier.
All right, good. That's right. And like Terry goes, why couldn't they have just gotten a surrogate? See, that's what I say, Terry. It's adoption, having surrogates, even back then, was an appropriate thing to do. But when you're a liar, you're going to omit things because their whole goal was to play. And I believe this from the bottom of my heart. It's just my opinion, but I believe that this is the biggest game and ruse that they've played on Americans, that we have a gay president with a transvestite husband who's still now running the country. And that's not even being a conspiracy theory. That's just the truth. And so, and then Obama, I almost forgot his name because I really try not to think of it, admitted he was gay. All these boyfriends came out. So, here's a picture way back.
This is the one you're referring to, right?
Right. But there's more pictures than that, but that's for
Still
sure.
Uncanny. You can see the smile, the nose, the eyes, everything is Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a doctored photo, Joe, is it?
Not that I can tell.
And is that still really Michelle? Because that person looks like they have earrings. So I don't know if that's him really with Michelle, that's Michael or whatever, but it's harder to find them. But years ago when I ran the preschool and I got a letter from the Obama administration saying I had to change all my bathrooms from, all girl, all boy to like unisex bathrooms. And that was a preschool. And so we got all up in arms, and a lot of people in Missouri pushed back, and that letter got rescinded. We all did not have to do that. And that was when I really, really understood Obama thinks he can do whatever the hell he wants, try to change my bathrooms. And this was towards the end of his second term. And in the past, you always knew what a president's real agenda was and about the last year of their second term, because they knew they had nothing to lose. And that's where that was. And at that point, now it's different. They just do whatever they want to. But back then they hit it until their last 2 year. And he was pushing so hard for this bathroom thing. And Target took it hook, line, and sinker. That's when at the point I started researching, and realizing he dated a guy that looked exactly like Michelle named Michael.
I'm not gonna say that that's not a doctor
I don't know.
photo. I can't tell you. I'm like Vic said that there's earrings on that.
I've seen this
I
one
said
several
earrings,
times.
yeah.
I've seen it go through.
So that could be. I don't know.
And it looks like
However,
there's a wedding ring on there. So that
Yeah.
could be still Michelle there. But if you find a picture of when they were in college, it looks exactly like him.
I can tell you that if that is not a doctored photo, they're going to tell you that it is.
Yeah. And like Mindy's saying, there are so many nefarious things around the Obamas. Whatever happened to the chef? Whatever happened to the chef that died mysteriously in a foot of water at their house? So, I mean, there's so many things that is going on that they get by with because they have learned, because they have his stepdad was best friends with old man Bush. So, I mean, we have been played for a long, long time. And when you say this to people who have never heard this before, you watch their eyes roll back in their head and think we're a conspiracy theorist. And I just tell them, don't take my word for it. Go and research and go try to find these things out. And you can't find anything about Michelle Obama back in the day. You can't.
Yeah, just remember, as Glenn says, remember what the White House did on Easter?
Mhm.
They came out with the Transsexual Day of Recognition
That's right.
on Easter. Once again, let me repeat that. On Easter in this country, they came out and talked about trans people, trans lives, trans everything, and they
Mhm.
chose Easter to do it. That wasn't by chance.
That's right.
That was on purpose. And they asked other politicians on the country, and then many other inner city politicians like Tashara Jones in the city of St. Louis came out and started talking pride, transsexuals on Easter.
That's right.
On Easter of all days.
Well, and that
On
just
Easter.
shows you from a spiritual realm that our country has become a culture that is making people think right is wrong and wrong is right. And so, and the people that still know that all these things that they're doing on Easter is wrong, it's desensitizing people to tolerate all of this nonsense. It's nonsense. Our children no longer can just go to school and learn their ABCs and their 1, 2, 3s. They're asked these days, how is your home life? Do you sometimes think that you're a boy when you're a girl? Do you sometimes have feelings that your penis should be just maybe a vagina now? I mean, come on, that is happening to our kids these days. It's like Glenn says, it's pure evil. And if you think it's anything else than that, then you don't understand what's going on in our country. It's actually not even just our country, it's the world. There is a spiritual battle in our world right now, and it's really rough to raise your children these days. So, and like Jay's saying, it's an attempt to de-Christianize Easter. And he's absolutely right. Because if you can desensitize Christ and make Christ look like he isn't real, then everything else can happen. But if you are somebody that believes in the sanctity of life and of Christ, then you won't believe any of this. But if you can desensitize the belief in our Savior, anything goes. And that's what's happening to our country.
Jared says, remember, 1.4% of Americans identify as trans. Maybe they're barking up the wrong voting tree. I don't know.
I don't know, but I've seen the percentages different. When we were younger and the percentage was 1% or 5%, they're now saying, I saw the latest report, and I believe it was on Fox or OAN, that now children are at a huge alarming rate, like 32% are now identifying in the LGBTQ XYZ LMNOP area. I mean, that's what's happening. Now, they're not all gay. We know that they're not all gay, but it's like Erica said, remember the emos back in the day, or the burnouts or whatever. There's always that group that doesn't fit somewhere. And now that group is now belonging to the pride group, because it's gotten to the point that it's cool to have gender fluidity.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Division conquering us. You know what happens. This is what goes happening.
That's right.
The problem with the Biden, Michelle, whatever is the problem that the Democrats have right now. They've got an identity crisis. They don't know who they are. They don't know who they're running, or they may know behind the scenes, but their voters don't know.
That's right.
And they're just telling Democrats, oh, everything's fine. Trump's bad. We're going to be fine. Just a little bad night. And then we show you the videos of everything that's going on. I loved another little video with Donald Trump here. This is what's happening. Never thought we'd see videos like this. Check out Donald Trump in this video about Donald Trump, which just blew my mind, where I was like, damn, this is some really good stuff here. You can check out the video right now. Maybe not.
Yeah. Let me refresh.
What
I
happened?
don't know.
Yeah, it's the mayor of Magaville, baby. Hey, you know who we voting for? We voting Donald Trump, baby. America needs saving. America needs saving. We voting Trump, baby. November 5th, we going crazy. November 5th, we going crazy. Red pill poppin', swerving in the Trump. Republican 4G, Antifa knows what's up. Red, white, and blue, MAGA nation, throw it up. Black, white, and brown, all about Trump. Democrat Party gon' take your freedom. Indicting our president cause they can't beat it. It's a two-tier justice system. Put America first, we the victims. FJB, 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 FJB. Let's go, Brandon, sing it. We voting Donald Trump, baby. America needs saving. America needs saving. We voting Trump, baby. November 5th, we going crazy. November 5th, we going crazy. Now I pledge allegiance to vote for Trump. There's a red wave coming, you gon' surf for what? And God I trust to take the devil away. Lock Joe Biden up and throw the key away. Your propaganda ain't gonna work on me. Bidenomics is like you working for free. I demand reparations from every idiot that voted for Joe Biden, boy, period. Period, Sleepy Joe is a fraud. And the bloodbath in the Oval Office. The media is the enemy of the people. The Democrats and the fake news always cheat. FJB, 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 FJB. Let's go, Brandon, sing it. We voting Donald Trump, baby. America needs saving. America needs saving. We voting Trump, baby. November 5th, we going crazy. November 5th, we going crazy.
That's my new favorite song.
You like it?
I
Amber
like
Rose, rapper. She's come
like
out recently too, being very, very adamant about Donald Trump, and
Yes.
just very, very upset with the black community lying to the black community about Donald Trump, lying to them about, in a different way, Joe Biden, how great he is, and how Democrats have just failed the African American.
They really have. If you're black right now and you're still voting for the Democrat Party, I can't believe that you can't see what they've done to you. I mean, the Democrat Party acts like they just love you. They love black people.
Yes, that's Kanye's ex.
That was
Somebody-
Kanye's
yeah,
ex?
yeah,
Okay.
they worked. Yeah,
Well, there you go. Well, I like that she's a Trump supporter. It's great. And telling the truth. I mean, Democrats are the most, especially white Democrats, use black people for their agenda, but actually still look down their nose at black people. And if you see any of these elite liberals, they don't live in black communities. I mean, give me a break. They even get, oh my gosh, this is my community. I really hope black people wake up and see that the Republican Party has now turned into, since Trump came in, this is just the party of the people. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter whether you are Christian or agnostic or whatever it is. You get freedom under the Republican Party, not the Democrat Party.
Well, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what's happening. The Supreme Court's supposed to take on Donald Trump's immunity case today.
Yeah.
We'll be following that.
That's right.
Does he get some? Does he not get any? Do all presidents get immunity? The whole thing is just bizarre to me that we're actually at a point where we're having a case about immunity for presidents. But, there we go. A 13-year-old shot, loses his life. We'll tell you what happened, how that transpired in New York. We'll see. And it wasn't a black kid or a Hispanic kid. It was a kid that was born in Myanmar that moved here as well now.
Wow.
And that whole community is up in arms. But how will the media cover this? Police shootings and so forth. BRICS heating up again. Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to bring that to people's attention. And Steve Bannon looks like he's going to have to do a prison sentence.
Yeah.
When I read the art, isn't that how it reads to you?
Yeah. What I heard that is he's going to have to turn himself in soon, and he's going to do 4 months.
And the Supreme Court not allowing this to be delayed. We'll get into all that. First, I want to give a shout out to our advertisers that we have here with Cancel This. And of course, that starts with Complete Auto Body Repair. 5 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. They fix everything when it comes to your vehicle. A to Z is what we see. They don't nickel dime you. They say, listen, we'll get it in. We'll check it out. This is what you got to do. This is what you can't do. We're going to make everything work for you. If you mention Cancel This, promise you they'll take extra good care of you. And of course, it helps us. When you tell them what you do, it helps us. Plus, if you or family member, loved one looking for a job regarding the auto industry, it could be if you have something with mechanics in your background. If you know something about automobiles, great. But you don't have to because they have so many jobs. Once again, CompleteAB.com, Complete Auto Body Repair. You can also give them a call at 314-731-7999, 314-731-7999. Also, when it comes to personal injury attorney, we've got the best personal injury attorney you should be contacting. His name is David Gregory. You can get him at conservativeinjurylawyer.com, conservativeinjurylawyer.com. Phone number 314-619-4230. Dave has worked with so many different people. He's worked with me twice. Before you sign with anybody, give him a call. You've got nothing to lose. We know multiple people are using him. Joe is using him. I've used him twice. He's a state, he was a former state rep. He's running for state senate. He has an accounting degree. He's written some of the laws in the state of Missouri when it comes to personal injury, whether it's accidents with cars, motorcycles, the trucking industry, when it comes to any bodily harm, when it comes to a conservative issue or a faith issue, a job issue. Dave is there. He has had success after success. Give him a call, 314-619-4230. And when you do, tell him that you're calling from Cancel This, and he'll knock off percentages of what he makes, meaning you make more money. More money comes back to you. David Gregory. Also, WeQuipUSA.com. Once again, WeQuipUSA.com. We are grateful that they are joining us as an advertiser. You rent products to other people via their site, or you rent products from other people. A site backed by insurance that connects the community together. And of course, our great friends at Winty's. Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley and in Defiance, Missouri, continuing to do what they do best. Good times, great food, all kinds of great food. A lot of time goes into the menu, the service, bringing people in for your neighborhood bar and grill. It's one of the best places you can go. Terrific patios for the outdoor seasons all year round. Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley and Winty's, of course, in Defiance. This is Cancel This, CancelTheShow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house here Monday through Friday right now, 8 to 10 a.m. You can catch us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Rumble. You can also catch us on X. We appreciate you guys jumping in and letting us know if there are stories, things that we're missing, issues, pictures, videos. We love it when you do it. And of course, you join our show as well. The thing that was also interesting that I want to get into from today's standpoint is Donald Trump and this Supreme Court case. The Supreme Court last week also came out with a ruling on Friday, the news dump day, that in my humble opinion, it was favorable towards J6ers. You could have hundreds of J6 prosecutions end. You literally could because of what the Supreme Court ruled. But we've also seen the Supreme Court go up and down. I think Ketanji Brown Jackson even voted to get rid of these cases against J6ers, but Amy Coney Barrett voted for them to stay. I mean, I'm trying to figure the stuff out right now with the Supreme Court. I can't. we bring it up because today the Supreme Court is supposed to address the immunity case when it comes to Donald Trump. So what the hell are they going to come out with? How are they going to make this work out? What are they going to do? Of course, it's all about a case involving whether former President Trump is immune from prosecution for, quote, his alleged attempt to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Of course, it's the most high-profile case of the court session. It's what everybody's been talking about if you get into this sort of thing. This is what was interesting. Justice Neil Gorsuch said during oral arguments for the case in April that they're writing a rule for the ages.
Whoa.
Neil Gorsuch said that we're writing a rule for the ages. They don't just come out and do that all the time. What do you think that tells you, Lizzie?
That right now I'm so disappointed in the Supreme Court because it's almost like, and I'm going to use Megan's word on the chat line, it's like somebody there is drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak. I don't know that they're looking at law as they are being swayed almost to the left side. I think Gorsuch, I was kind of surprised he's the one that said it because he's the least disappointing, because Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett, I'm shocked at some of the things that they've done. It almost is like instead of upholding the rule of law, they're leaning to the left. So for him to say that they're making a law for the ages is like, you could take that either way, like something that's going to last forever or something so historic that is something they've never done in the past. I'm not sure I'm really excited about that. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that they do something that is so Americana instead of falling in a line of the Kool-Aid drinkers.
I know, but we've also been told that it would be apt of this court to do something just down the middle. I don't know what that would mean, how they would be able to handle that. Where it was very lukewarm, where, we really didn't make this case that's very, very, very difficult for people to accept. But we did a little here, we did a little there. I agree with Jay. I think immunity is going to be expanded, but it won't cover everything.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Donna says he was voicing his opinion, protected speech, proceed peacefully to the Capitol. Isn't that what he said? I thought that's what they were talking about with Bannon.
That's correct.
The second story that we were talking about.
Correct. With Bannon, with Bannon, the reason why yes, it's all about J6, but the reason why Bannon is actually in trouble really is because when they subpoenaed him, he kept ignoring them and ignoring them and ignoring them. So that's what they're saying he's really in trouble for. So, and that's why he has to spend 4 months in jail.
I know. And then just remember, okay, so Trump was charged with 4 felonies related to, quote, reverse the 2020 election.
Correct.
So the Trump team is arguing that the actions he took were all part of his official duties as president. That's where all that came, that's where this whole case came about.
Well, and he and Donald Trump on J6 didn't do anything wrong. And people that are on the Democrat side or people who don't even understand, when he was talking, he never told people to break windows. He never told people to even go in the Capitol. He just said to march peacefully. That's what he said. And people that are up there bashing the windows and stuff, they were already doing it before the speech was over. So I'm not sure how they can even link that to Donald Trump at all.
Well, there was video of Donald Trump also speaking from the Garden that has not been played, that is out there, that his team has, where he had told people immediately, do not do this. He was against everything. The video is his evidence.
Yes.
But mainstream media would not play it. The interesting thing is here that 2 lower courts already went against Donald Trump. So if the Supreme Court went against Donald Trump, which I do not think they're going to do.
I hope not. The
trial for this, the election interference trial, it could and probably would occur before November, before the November election.
Yeah.
I don't expect the court to do that. I don't. And I've done a lot of reading where many experts, when it comes to the law standpoint, say they don't expect the court to go that far either.
Yeah. Yeah. I pray and I
But
think
it's where does a president enjoy that presidential immunity or not?
well, if you're Donald Trump, you apparently don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess everybody else can have the immunity, but Donald Trump.
But if presidents had total immunity, could that be scary if you're thinking down the road? I think it could be.
I think
Imagine
it
if
could be.
Biden had total immunity. I know it
Right.
seems like it to Republicans at times.
Correct. Well, he does have total immunity. I mean, he can basically say whatever he wants, and they want us to believe his lies. I mean, they actually say that. And like Lisa's reminding us, the Pelosi's own daughter has her on video. I mean, there's so much stuff that's going on with J6. And if you notice, only the Republicans, or even we're talking about two different things. But I mean, we're talking about Donald Trump's immunity, and we're talking about Steve Bannon. But this is all still one big J6 thing. If what Steve Bannon did, and what they're catching him on is the fact that he didn't answer the subpoenas. Donald Trump, we already know that's a whole nother thing. But talking about Steve Bannon and Donald Trump and lump them in a collective whole, if anybody that was on the progressive liberal side, we wouldn't be talking about this. It wouldn't even be happening to them. That's the travesty, is if you're a conservative these days, they are trying to do so much to you that you had a right to do, but they want to silence you and make you be quiet.
If it wasn't for the loony left, it wouldn't need changed anyway. It's worked perfectly as is until now. I agree.
That's right. Jay's right on that. That's for sure. And that's the problem, is our country is no longer the same as it was. We are losing all of our American values here. It was founded, our ancestors and our grandparents had this wonderful place that you can go and have freedom. You can celebrate how great this country is. And now we're being told that this country is crap, that we shouldn't love it, that we should destroy it from within because we're not fair and we're racist and we're awful, and that we need to take this once great country and just destroy it some more and make it equal as to every other country out there and have one big global world and be happy and sing Kumbaya.
From the chat line, the July 11th sentencing of Donald Trump, which it is scheduled for that day, will be a forecast and how all of us will be going to be moving forward. Glenn says, don't forget Peter Navarro. He went to jail for the same charge.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeannie, yeah, we talked about this a little bit ago. Heard the Bidens are blaming advisors for his terrible debate, for his inability to be able to function, speak, walk, pretty much any sort of his natural, normal bodily functions.
Yeah, well, you're right. Even his bodily functions. And that's the thing. The Democrats don't ever take any responsibility for their actions. And they do that often. And we can see it in the history that they blame the staffers. They blame somebody lower than them. And that person takes the fall and goes to jail. On the right side of things, they're going to the top guns, like Donald Trump himself. They're going after the actual legislators. They go over staffers on the Democrat side.
Yeah, I just don't see the Supreme Court ruling totally against Donald Trump. I just don't.
Well, I hope not.
I don't. That would send us into another trial.
Yeah, it would.
That would be. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
But as weird and as hard it is to predict this court, which is not 6-3 conservatives versus liberals. It's just not. It's not. I still feel that they're going to put it in a case where we're going to be left in limbo somehow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy. And I think you guys can see that.
Well, Lori just posted, a friend had posted, when Alfred is too old to take care of the Batcave, you don't replace him with the Joker. People are still voting for JB. That's true. That is so true. I mean, that's what it is. It's like Batman that just is not the way it used to be. I mean, can you imagine back in the olden days, speaking on Batman, you would go and Batman was like the president was going to save our town, our Gotham City. We don't have, Donald Trump is our Batman.
Well, of course he is. And I think many people, that's why everybody's gone after him.
That's right.
But his immunity case is going to be released by the Supreme Court pretty quickly.
Yeah. I hope it's all good news. This country needs some good news.
But what would good news be for you?
That he's completely exonerated of it all.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Of all of it, he's exonerated of it all. But at this point, I agree with you. It's not going to happen as long as I guess the best case scenario at this point is, who cares if he has felonies? Really, what we've learned through all this, if you're a conservative, I would look at people differently now. If there was a conservative and they were fighting for a cause for the American way and they had a felony, I don't care anymore. Look what they've done. It's like, a felony? Who cares? We don't care about felonies. The best thing that we can hope for is that he does no jail time and goes on and can have a fair election. I know that's a pipe dream.
Yeah,
That's
it
what I'm
is. Donald Trump just came out and posted this too, which is being shared. Judge Merchan, the judge, the clown judge from the
Mhm.
clown court in New York with the hush money made up trial. Trump said, quote, Judge Merchan must drop the gag order. I have so much to say and I am not allowed to say it. What is going on in our country? I thought they dropped it just a little bit, but I guess Trump wants it even more.
Yeah. Well, can you blame him?
No, I
No.
couldn't. No,
I mean,
couldn't.
not at all. Not at all.
I know. Anyway, so when that comes out, it could come out during the show. If it does, we'll get that news out and see where it goes and how this is going to affect Donald Trump and the rest of his party and anybody. But once again, the court coming up with some very big cases. Apparently, they also have an A2 case coming up too that people are going to be following that they think is very, 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 very big.
You know what I thought was interesting too is when we were watching the debate, Donald Trump has a heart because I thought he actually kind of felt sorry for the guy. I mean, he even went on Truth Social too to say if Biden weren't such a bad guy, including the total weaponization of government against his political opponent, I'd feel sorry for him. But he is just a very bad guy. And I think he wants to see the good in people. I really do. And I think he'd want to even see the good in Joe Biden, but he admits he's just not there and he's a bad, bad man. Bad man. So if you want to hear what Donald Trump is saying, you can go right to the source but some people still cause that tweeting and they don't like it. But those same people are not on Truth Social, so I don't know how they read it.
Well, we've got a lot of issues that are going on in the country, and we're focused on the election. We're focused on who's going to be the Democratic nominee. Is it going to be Biden? Is it going to be Michael Michelle? Is it going to be somebody else? What's going to happen to Trump? Is Trump going to have to go to jail in 10 days? All of that silliness, because we know that there's going to be a lot of ups and downs and all arounds before the election actually occurs, if it occurs. But while the Americans and the American people were all caught up in this circus again of everything that's going on, the rest of the world is positioning themselves. They watched, they saw, they know how feeble this Joe Biden and his administration is. They know that now is the time to try to take as much as you can from America because he is so compromised pretty much in every way. Well, with all of that being said, thank God Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about BRICS. Talking about Brazil and Russia and India and China and South America all getting together to talk about how they're going to devalue the dollar and try to destroy the dollar. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene breaking it down, and you can't talk enough about what is happening in America.
This is the biggest thing people are not talking about. The BRICS nations have an agreement. They are going to move off of the dollar. They're going to stop trading in the dollar. They're going to stop trading in the petrodollar. They are going to start using their own currencies, or they may come up with an agreed upon currency, not the dollar, that they will trade with. This is going to destroy America's economy. You think inflation is bad right now? Wait until all of these countries stop trading in the dollar. Inflation will be out of control and our dollar will plummet. This is how they will destroy America, and it's our own fault. Steve, it's our own fault because of our country's nonstop interventionist, foreign war causing, regime changing, horrible attitude in Washington, D.C., and it makes me so upset.
We're going to take a short commercial break, but 48 hours after MTG, Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, said that on the War Room, 48 hours, it was leaked out of Riyadh that the Saudis are getting out of the agreement for petrodollars. They've said, hey, Biden's destroying the purchasing power of the dollar 20% every couple of years. We can't do it. That's the BRICS nations in work.
Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene saying what we've been talking about on this show for a year and a half.
Yep.
We've been talking about BRICS. We've been talking about the dollar. And while we have most of our viewers, listeners, still trying to understand what's going on, some say the dollar will never be destroyed. I disagree.
You wouldn't have thought before COVID, I would have thought that you couldn't have the dollar be destroyed, but you can see now they're willing to kill millions of people to prove their point, to do what they want to do. And I mean, you see Marjorie Taylor Greene there, and was that Steve Bannon with her?
Yes.
Okay. And we were just talking about Steve Bannon. I mean, look at those two people that are very much fighting for our country and how crucified they are. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene whether you like her approach or not, typically is right in the end. But they've tried to make her take clips of her and make her look like a nut job. And Steve Bannon is going to spend 4 months in jail for his, not really his part in J6, but really his part for ignoring the subpoenas. But both of those people will do whatever it takes to try to tell you the truth.
Jeannie's like, I don't want that. Yeah, you don't. Robert says US dollar transaction fees are 3%.
That's right.
So we lose big time.
We do lose big time.
Once again, 3%. So we lose big time. And many of the bank branches are closing. If you look around, that is happening.
That is happening. And that is part of the globalization. I cannot say this enough. And if you don't have a relative right now that understands why they're doing what they're doing, they want to make America not the strongest country anymore. And when they devalue our dollar, they do just that.
Gary says he likes his silver purchases more and more every week right now because he doesn't believe the dollar is going to be worth much very soon.
Well, and just as a reminder, look at your dollar. Look, pull out a dollar right now, and it says "In God We Trust," which is very important. But it also is still owned by the government. I mean, that dollar bill is still created by the government. So, I mean, they really have us coming and going no matter what we have. I mean, so the dollar is still a government entity.
Oh, that even puts it in a bigger perspective from Robert. Now, when he says 3% on the transaction, that's 3% of hundreds of trillions of dollars annually.
Mm-hmm.
Annually.
Yeah. But Dr. Spider's saying on YouTube, Republicans' biggest distraction is religion. Democrats' biggest distraction is social justice. And both of those groups make it more important than our money. There is some truth to that. There is, if you're looking at it a purely agnostic way, I'm not going to say religion. Well, okay, I will say religion, but a higher power, that's bigger than anything. But that being said, we've said this often, Republicans, Eric is the first person that I heard bring it up on the show, was that Republicans do too much talking about abortion. And pro-life people, me included, get enraged when we hear that. But that does lose elections. So you got to be careful what state you're in. If you're already in Missouri, the more you keep talking about abortion, the more that you do take the social justice people, as Dr. Snyder is saying here, and you've got these two clashing. You've got pro-life over here with the Republicans, and then you've got social justice over here, and it's keeping us divided, and it distracts us from the dollar. It distracts us from what you're talking about, Vic, about BRICS and how to destroy our country. We really have to be looking at that right now in this election, that we need to stop talking about social issues and get to the fact our border is wide open, and our money is becoming, due to inflation, BRICS, all of it, devaluing the dollar, our money is becoming, and our economy is becoming to the point people cannot afford to live day to day. They can't.
We talk about these issues, and to educate yourself and to know as we move forward, just think of this: BRICS and the nations that currently recognize BRICS or are part of BRICS, and it's getting larger, represents over 40% of the world's population and much of the global GDP. So this is a big deal. And the importance of cooperation is what they say is a huge deal, especially as they try to address these global challenges. So there are so many of these countries that want to put it to the United States if they can. And if there's another, everybody just wants to make money.
That's right.
And if they start to see this with BRICS, we are really, 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 really in for it. Now, you've heard it. If you've watched this show, you've heard it. We've talked about it a lot. It was just MTG brought it up recently. And it was another one of those shock moments where it's like every time you hear it, it's like, oh my God.
That's
oh my
right.
God, it's here. It's actually happening. And, where it falls, not quite sure. Still not quite sure. I just know that it's not good for the United States.
That's right. No, it's not. It absolutely isn't good for the United States. And there's so many things that, and we've already talked about on the show, there's so many distractions that's keeping us from everything but really what's going to happen to our country. It's social issues. It's, what J6 this thing is going on now. What trial is Donald Trump going on when the whole time they're destroying our country from within and our entire economic structure?
Paul says Jesus is coming. Robert adding in, if Germany or Japan flips to the east from the west, Think about this with the other countries and what that would do and the economies that they have in Germany and Japan. It's game over. All it would take is one more country. And you don't think if you're BRICS and you want to take over with what you're doing and how the Saudi Arabians, they've gone away from the petrodollar. One of those countries leaves, Germany or Japan. Don't think for a second they couldn't make that work somehow, some way to make it so good for them. It's that I know. I don't know what the chances of that happening are, but all it would take is one country. Now that's where we are. One country to flip, and we're in some serious shit.
Serious. Yeah. I don't think, I think our listeners do, but I don't think the average public understand it's not just your soda costs more now or just your bag of chips. I mean, this is the whole destruction of the way of life that we have. It's actually quite scary if you think about it.
Plus our debt on top of it.
Yes.
Sarah adds, I was at work talking to a
Yes.
customer about BRICS. They had no clue. No clue. My family doesn't even know about BRICS, according to Sarah.
That's right.
Are they not talking about it on TV at all? You get a quick
Hardly.
you get a quick news story. I mean, it's on if you break it down and you watch some of the national news shows,
Right.
but not with local news. But you have to go out and study it yourself. You really do.
That's right. You do, because you can find this information. And often it's not even America news. You can find it in the BBC and all of that. But most people, unless they're really in tune, don't even know what BRICS is. I had somebody that's been in conservative talk just recently text me and said, what in the world is that? I hear people talking about it, and they've been on the radio for years. They don't even know what it is, because it's not something, unless you deep dive, you even know what in the world is going on.
So very true. Yes. Unbelievably scary. All these things going on. BRICS is happening. BRICS isn't going away. Let's just put it that way. If you're trying to figure out what's happening, it's not going away.
No.
Now we need to find out where we are. And of course, this makes sense too, as Jay says. A weaker dollar helps promote the socialist agenda. 100%.
That's right.
Troy does believe that America can survive if we focus on our own interest. Drill, baby, drill. That would be one way to start that.
I agree. Yeah, America is not over. It's not that the American dream is completely gone. They're trying to. They're escalating the destruction of our country. But if we get a good leader back in there, a lot of this, we're still going to be damaged. We're still going to be scars. We're still going to have scabs. It's still going to be a memory of how rough they've tried to ruin this country. But we are survivable if we do not keep electing people like Joe Biden, or they keep getting selected.
BRICS could target Mexico. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
I don't know what the chances of that happening are, but I know that any country in the world would turn on America in a heartbeat if they could make some money.
You betcha. That's right. And like Jeannie's saying, when freedom dies, so do we. And that's literal even. If America loses all of its freedoms, and we're losing a lot of our freedoms, there's nowhere else to go. I mean, where do you want to go? It drives me crazy when these Hollyweird people and the progressive liberals said it in 16, said it in 20, now they're saying it in 24, that, if Donald Trump gets elected, I'm going to leave and I'm going to go to another country. But they never leave. Why do they never leave? Because they know America is still better than everyone else as far as freedoms and our economy. But if they can destroy that, it doesn't matter whether they leave or not. Like Whoopi Goldberg and all those wackadoodles are always like, oh, I'm just going to leave when Donald Trump gets elected. And when Donald Trump gets elected this time around again, are any of them going to leave? No.
Yeah. I mean, we've got so many more issues. It's like, I don't even follow the Hollyweirds anymore.
Yeah.
I really don't. Jeannie says we're losing bit by bit.
We are.
And these are all the things. And obviously we talk a lot about politics when it comes to what's happening with the election, because we have so much theater that's actually happening when it comes. I mean, a variety of tentacles off that main story. We also try to get into meat and potatoes of your everyday life and things that are happening around this country when it comes to your dollar, your economy, the inflation, the real estate market, and so forth. All of those things that are happening.
That's right.
Because we try to not get oh, let's follow this around now over here, or let's follow that around over there. And that's what the show has always been about, to talk about the stories that you don't see on local media, national media, to do the research that we do around the clock, to get the guest on that we need to have, and of course, to open up a people's platform, which we do for you guys. And of course, if you didn't know, you can watch us on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, and you can also watch us on Rumble. And we appreciate all the support that you guys do give us. We appreciate you coming in Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and doing everything that you do with us. Not only is it setting up an alliance, as Terry says, BRICS, but our dollar is gone.
Yeah.
And to get it all the way back now, we'll have to sell our goods, our oil, for pennies on the dollar,
That's
which is
right.
where the inflation situation comes back in.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, they've just ruined our country so much, and everything that Terry said there makes so much sense. And I think if each one of you today could share the show or tell a friend what we're saying that doesn't understand that, because there's more that does not understand this on that deep of a level. They do understand their car insurance went up, their house insurance went up, or in a lot of people's cases, they can't afford their house anymore. So they're selling it, but then the interest rates are going up. They understand that your credit card now is 33% and they have no way to pay it down. They get all that. They get that their everyday situation is hurting. Heck, I know people that had their kids in Christian school. They can't even afford that anymore. So they know the everyday, but they don't know the whys. They don't know about BRICS. They don't understand about the whole world order. They don't understand.
Well, people can like and subscribe and share our shows and help people know. I mean,
That's
if
right.
you care, and your fellow man, your fellow neighbor, your family members, your friends, because you need to talk about these subjects and help people out, because these are major issues that are not going anywhere. They're not changing. That's for sure. This is not getting better just by itself. And I know people would say this is such a simpleton view, but there's no doubt in my mind we would be headed in a much better situation with the Donald Trump administration, even if it was only for 4 years. There's no doubt. And there's a reason why they have attacked him, and we talk about it constantly, because he is going to stop all the bullshit that's happening right now. No wonder depression runs deep in this country, coming from
That's
Jeannie.
right.
Yeah, of course.
That's right.
It is, because we have issues at every level. And our next story, when we get to it, would be another one of those things that happens in life here, and how this country has changed and continues to change.
That's right. And it was already headed that way. And people are still suffering from 2020, when they felt their election was stolen. And at the same time their election was stolen, it was bigger than Donald Trump. It was bigger than the fact that they didn't get their guy in. It was they knew something nefarious happened. And so they felt so frustrated with their freedoms. Then during that period of time, they were told, hey, you that is talking about Donald Trump, shut up or you're going to get in big trouble. Hey, and by the way, put a mask on, put a jab in your arm and be quiet. And so there's been depression and anxiety and all that before that, but it escalated in 2020. And there's a lot of people that have yet to recover. They've lost their jobs, they've lost their income, and they're just reeling. It's been 4 years. And so this has been a tough 4 years for our country. Tough.
Jeannie says, yeah, I was pissed getting milk yesterday for $4 a gallon.
Oh my gosh,
we get it. We
right.
understand. Robert, why is NATO losing Turkey such a huge deal? I think I understand what you're talking about, but give me an idea, or give our viewers and listeners an idea, because of where that stands on the global stage and what that could mean from a financial standpoint. I appreciate you jumping in and giving us your opinion. This is cancelthisshow.com, here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. Please let people know, like, subscribe, share our show. Let people know where they can jump in with us. And of course, we'll continue to do what we can every day.
That's right.
Projo, Lizzie Sparks, Vic Faust. We have our Free for All Friday shows as well. And who knows where this is where this is going in the next 5 months. I just feel as if we have a lot of things that are going to occur before an election occurs on a national scale, because I think a lot of moves will be made, especially if countries around the world see what's happening with our elections. If they see a Donald Trump in a situation where it's too big to rig, coming back into office.
That's right.
Trying to make plans before he comes back in and tries to make deals, or before he comes back in and tries to and put other countries maybe between a rock and a hard place, the same way that they have put us in to the show as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we have our predictions. We speculate. it's I doubt we're just going to go even keel all the way through to the end of November.
No, I'm sure we're going to end up with some. There, as they call it, the black swan event. But there's going to be some surprise that possibly many people don't even see coming. We're not done with the surprises for sure, and it's going to escalate now because we're in July. What's it till July 1st, and it always escalates. Every election always escalates right before, or right, I'm sorry, right after the 4th of July. It escalates to the primaries in August and then really steamrolls up to the general election. They've got things. I do know that we said earlier the Democrats are backed into the corner, but they're evil. They have a lot of backup plans on what to do that they've talked about. I mean, look at COVID, that they did that in 2020, but they've been cooking it up some 2015. So they're going to cook up some plan that they've been trying to concoct for years that they're still going to hit on us real soon.
I'm getting to this. I'm checking it out. Yeah, I agree. Somebody from the chat, I don't know who had said, I'm sorry, I lost it. It just said Democrats are way too comfortable nationally right now.
They sure are.
After seeing what happened to Biden, they feel as if they're too comfortable right now for that to happen. Okay. Yeah. This is long. It just came out. Here's what we got. Breaking news. Okay. The Supreme Court, no surprise here. What did I tell you? Supreme Court grants Trump partial immunity. What did we just get done telling you? I just got done telling you it would probably be one of these lukewarm decisions where we know nothing more now than we did before. So they ruled that former President Trump has some immunity from criminal prosecution when it comes to actions he took during his presidency. The court concluded that a former president has absolute immunity for acts within his core constitutional duties. But I'll put this in parentheses. What does that mean? And presumptive immunity for other official acts. However, there's no immunity for unofficial acts. So what are official and unofficial acts? The case has been remanded for further analysis to determine whether specific actions in the indictment qualify, as I just got done damn well saying, official or unofficial acts. Once again, they passed the buck, they kicked the can down the road because that's what this court is proving to do. Okay, so the majority opinion came from Chief Justice Roberts. He delivered the opinion on the court, joined by, of course, Justice Thomas, Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, all in full, and by Justice Coney Barrett, except for the Part 3C, the key points of the majority opinion. Okay, so now former presidents have absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for actions. What does it mean? They kick it down the road. So I don't know. I mean, it gets kicked down the road. So here we are. We're back to square one, right? So right now, Trump has immunity for official acts, but not for unofficial acts. So what it has to mean is that Jack Smith has probably won and could still prosecute because they got to determine what, am I wrong here?
No, I think you're spot on. But I mean, that's crazy. And like Bindy's saying, no balls.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out right now. But then some people feel, okay, I got another message. Somebody's telling me, no, Trump's vindicated.
Well, I think that we're supposed to think Trump is vindicated at this point. But I think what we're going to hear by the end.
No, I think they could go after him.
I think by the end of the day, if they can go after him, they will go after him as hard as they can get by with. I don't think he does any jail time, though. I don't. I don't think they can put him in jail. Do you, Joe? Do you think they can put him in jail? I mean, do you think right now that's what's going to happen?
I have no idea.
They're going to prosecute him. I'm going with it. They can continue on. I think Jack Smith takes this as a positive and moves forward. Ben says from the chat line, I think it means for his private acts are not associated with official duties.
Yeah, I don't know. But then Terry's saying Biden wasn't president when he took classified documents. So, I mean, look at what we're talking about. It's not clear. I mean, a lot of people don't even understand why Donald Trump even has any felonies and what they are even from. They don't even really either. It's so convoluted. And like this discussion we're having too, they're purposely doing it because they have nothing. They have nothing. So they want to take nothing to make it worse than a misdemeanor, to make a felony, to jail the dude. If they could right now, if they had their way, he would be in jail and they would give him a piece of toast a day, and that's all they would do to him. If they thought they could get by with that, why? Somebody that doesn't understand. Say somebody has never heard us talk about this. Why, you say? What we say is there is a man that is not part of this cabal. This cabal has done so many things. They have molested children. They're part of, a lot of people would even say they're Pizzagate. They want our money. They think we're little peons. They want to destroy this country. They've caused division. And there's one man that has enough money. Originally in 2015 and 16, he had his own money. Now he has the average American person behind him. So he's getting millions in donations now, and they're not all big lobbyist money. So you've got this whole cabal against the people. And Donald Trump is the only person stopping the freight train coming. So these Democrats, we don't even have to understand everything they're doing. They don't even understand. They're going to throw everything at him, including the kitchen sink. It's never going to end until he's not the president anymore. Then they'll probably just leave him alone.
Well, of course they would. We already know where that's going. It's exactly what would happen. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't be upset, but I think this favors Democrats more than it does Trump.
Well, you know,
I'm reading it right now since it's just coming out, and that's exactly how I feel. I feel like that it leaves a door open where he can still be prosecuted.
Yes. That's right. I totally agree with you, Vic. If they can leave any door open, even if they don't do anything to him right this second, they're always going to leave the door open that when they need Donald Trump to get in trouble, to go to jail, or at the very least spend lots of money on attorneys, make him sit in an icebox courtroom, they're going to do it. This is never ending. And this isn't even just about Trump derangement syndrome, which it's real quick to go to that. But we have to understand why there is even such a thing called Trump derangement syndrome. The average person did not hate Donald Trump until he ran for president. They didn't even hate him. It was set up by Hollywood. It was set up by our establishment. It was set up that this man is bad, this man is evil. But why? Why did they do that? These people know that Donald Trump is stopping all the nefarious things they've been doing to us for years, and the nefarious things they're doing to innocent people, like trafficking and Epstein and all that. There's so much that Donald Trump knows. And I know now more than ever why he hasn't told it. He was told by advisors it was not time to even release the JFK files. It is not time. Why, I think? Because the country could not have gotten all the stuff done he promised.
I just don't want people to get confused here. Official acts versus unofficial acts, because I've already seen some people tweeting, oh, this is a win for Trump. I don't think it is. A win for Trump was this being eliminated, done, off the balance, off the books. Don't have to worry about it anymore. However, Alina Baba's, oh, it's not Baba. I thought it was, it is Alina Baba.
Yeah, it
Baba.
is. That's one
the attorney who we've seen.
Yeah.
We've seen her and we've shown her, we've played her sound bites. She's saying it's a good decision for them. She says they're happy with it.
Well, and
I don't know why. They would only be happy as if Jack Smith wasn't able to keep prosecuting them. Or I don't know if that's a public opinion. It's like, oh, we're happy about this. We'll see what Jack Smith has to say and what they're doing.
right. It could be a Band-Aid to the problem. It might not be that they're happy at the end decision, but maybe they're happy with it because he can proceed and work on his campaign.
It seems like it would be good for future presidents, maybe not him right now.
That could be.
And of course, it's just coming out now, which is what we're trying to look at and try to see. By the way, it was a 6-3 presidential immunity case. Is how it all came down. I don't know. Alina Haba, not Baba. That's why it's looked weird to me.
Yeah, that's right. Haba. Yeah, Baba didn't sound right.
So official acts versus unofficial acts. Gary says he thinks it's going to allow Trump to get the former. I don't know what you mean by that, buddy. This will be analyzed for several days. No doubt about it. It's going to be analyzed over and over and over again, which I think gives the prosecution the chance to continue to go after him and prosecute. So I don't know why this is positive. Somebody will have to explain this to me if you see this as being positive.
Well, and like Bindi said, this will be analyzed for days, because what we think might be good, because what I think is good is Donald Trump is completely exonerated. Theirs could be, okay, like I said, we could proceed and still campaign and still run for presidency. I don't know what that means, that it's good right now. Yeah, and like Terry saying, she's got the best answer of all here. The decision seems as complicated as the charges.
Yeah.
It's all so complicated by design, that it's all so complicated. This is no accident that's all so complicated. And this could, if in fact that they say that you can do these things to former presidents, this sets a precedent up for every other president that's still alive that's ever run, including Joe Biden. Like Donald Trump said in the debate that he will be a former president and then he will be a felon. When Biden called Donald Trump at the debate a felon, of course, Donald Trump said, well, your son's a felon. He said, but you will be a felon. I can't say if he said he will or you could be a felon once you're not the president anymore. So, I mean, look at the president that they're setting up. And yeah, and Pam says this opens up for President Biden to be charged soon as well.
It could. If they could.
It's a real
and if
slippery
it did,
slope.
then they need to go after Joe Biden ASAP. ASAP. From the chat line, Jack Smith now has to prove if Trump was acting in the capacity of the office or not. If he's acting in the capacity of the office, which is what would have to be proven, that would be, quote, called an official act, then he's vindicated. But if he was acting outside of the office, that would be an unofficial act. And then that's where the gray area comes. Chat line, Tiny feels it's a huge win for Trump because he has absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for all official acts as president. Once again, it still has to be determined whether his acts were official or not. Conservatives will want to say these were official acts as president, but the Democrats will say, no, this had nothing to do with his presidential office.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm with you from the chat line. I just want to hear the audio from Biden's hearing with Robert Hur.
Right. That's right. That's right. And Trisha's saying they don't care because J6 just can't stand trial for anything. I don't know. Or not J6. I'm sorry. Joe Biden. Yeah.
Okay. Lots of stuff coming down on the show right now. We are the Cancel This podcast. We are live. We do live stories. And when they come, that's what we're doing. We do our show with you, with your help. We appreciate you guys jumping in. But at the same point in time, just trying to catch up and learn a little bit about what's happening as well with everything that's going down. So guess what? This is the big story today. And we're going to be sitting around going, okay, what does it mean? What does it mean? What's Jack Smith going to do? What's an official act? What's not? All right. I got lots of conservative pundits jumping out saying this is a big win for Trump.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying it's a big win. And that's great. And that's what
I just don't see a way where Jack Smith does not continue to prosecute. That's my point.
Right. Let's hope Jack Smith just is like, we've tried everything. We just can't go forward with this. But no matter what's happening, today, we're mainly talking about this instead of Joe Biden and his faux pas. And so Donna's saying now the official versus unofficial debacle begins. Jay saying this is what most of the legal experts had said would happen and what they wanted.
Well, yeah, and it was something that's down the middle. But then you're still left in limbo.
That's right.
And then it all just becomes more theater.
Well, that's the whole thing. All of this is theater on purpose, because if they can't throw something and it sticks and he goes to jail, theater is great for the uniparty. It's great because it takes the onus off of what they're really doing. And Pam just said Jack Smith's paddle is up a creek.
Also from the chat line, I'm with you, Vic. It's not clear what capacity Trump was in for the situation.
That's right.
And that's why I'm sticking with what I said.
Yep.
And it is interesting that it comes right down now because guess what, guys? It's another diversion of Joe Biden and how bad he was Thursday. And then followed up how bad he was at his event on Friday.
Yeah, they were.
And how bad it was with Jill Biden and her looks when he was telling stories and how she's trying to promote him. And he's standing there like he's ready to cry and doesn't know where he is. And he's looking around and like, oh my God, what's going on? Another diversion. Just like the Biden crime syndicate family stories were heating up prior to August 7th with the House Oversight Committee and James Comer. Oh, now we've got something else to talk about October 7th. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at this in the Middle East. We're going to deal all of these things to you now. You take this. Another diversionary tactic. I could absolutely see how you would be thinking that. and saying that after what
Absolutely.
happened October 7th.
That's right. I mean, diversion, 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 diversion. And there's so many, and you know, when they're diverting us from something, there's something that they're doing we don't see. Oh, let's do this over here. And then your eyes go over here. So, and it's just between now and August and the primaries and then November, buckle up, people. Put your seatbelts on tight.
Glenn thinks that the verdict helps Biden and Obama more than it helps Trump.
Well, that's what you were kind of saying. So, yeah, I don't know that we know all the answers to that anyway. I think this is going to be have to be hashed out for a day or two.
And we're still getting comments. Yes, we don't know. It's what it now breaks down to what an official act of office is and not.
That's right. So there's not a conclusion exactly on this. And unless maybe Alina was saying that it was a good day for him because they knew that he was doing all of it in the official capacity and it was on a personal basis, maybe that's why she thinks it's a good day, because she absolutely knows he just was doing it in the presidential mode.
Well, I don't think you're going to come out. Yeah, of course, because you have to pander and you have to play to your side.
Correct.
I love what Donald Trump is and has done and has proven to be. And there's no doubt he's the best candidate this go around for president. No doubt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have to have a positive image. And I don't think he wants to come out and they're looking at it. Yeah, of course we didn't. Of course, these were presidential acts. This is why it's good news.
Yeah.
You also don't want anything to be played against you where it tries to take the momentum that you have, because there's a lot of momentum that is headed the way of Donald Trump right now. Lots of momentum that is happening for him when it comes to the presidency, when it comes to the election, when it comes to the percentages of people who say that they were going to vote for him now, when it comes to his just blowing out the debate with Joe Biden. All of these things are momentum. So if you don't like Trump, you try to give him something that's not going to put him in a great light.
That's right.
And right now, that's too bad because he is rolling.
Yeah. It's like you think, okay, I like normally 4th of July week, you think, okay, the White House is all going to be decked out for 4th of July. And you know what? Sleepy Joe is just going to be eating ice cream and not even know that this is Independence Week. Our own president, think about that, Vic. Nobody even at that White House cares about our independence.
From the chat line, if you see CNN crying, you know it helps Trump.
That's right. That's
quite
true.
Possibly. But there's a lot to happen too. Liz, I mean, you've got 3 work days, then you have the 4th of July Thursday. Okay. Next week, midweek, I think it's, I don't know, by Wednesday, Thursday, you have the sentencing in the New York hush money case. So once again, it's like there are all these little hurdles, all these challenges that have been put in place that you have to get through first, at least as a consumer of news, a consumer of information. Yeah. Man, it's a lot.
It is a lot. It really is. I mean, it's just a sad week, really, when you think about it. And again, I'm going to go back to the 4th of July and Independence Day, when we should be celebrating how wonderful our freedoms are. And in the meantime, you've got Sleepy Joe that's mumbling and mumbling and carrying on. And his wife is out there saying, good job, Joe. Good job. You answered all the questions. And then you've got President Trump that is literally sitting again with all this court crap. Happy 4th of July, everybody. All you had to do is watch the debate to look that our freedom is at stake here. And it bothers me more this week, I think, because of what the week is. Yeah. And like Dr. Schneider saying, the White House will be decorated for DEI, possibly, instead of patriotic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's sad. We should be like red, white, and blue, everything. And I want to see the president to come out with a red, white, and blue tie.
Well, he may. Let's not. We'll see. Let's not get too upset yet. Let's see what happens.
Oh, come on! You think Joe Biden's going to come out in a red, white? And
I don't.
blue tie?
I don't even know if we'll see him. But,
good point. I bet he's in the basement.
Maybe it's better if we don't see him, Lizzie.
I think you're right. I think it is better we don't see him.
I mean, you don't get anything out of it when you see him anyway.
No, you're right. We're dumber for listening to him.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. You are. You are. We are. We all are. I don't know. We'll hear more as people break this out today. But once again, it just adds more to the theater, the drama that we've talked about, the decision. Kick cans down the road. We'll see where it goes. Nothing goes to court really, except these these little minor stupid cases that they were able to deal with in hardcore left-leaning liberal lunacy places where they were able to be the judge, jury, executioner to put against Trump. That's the only thing that's happened to Trump. Nothing in any real courts with any real judges has happened to Donald Trump. And that's why I find this fascinating where we are today.
Yeah, it really is fascinating in a really bad way, but it is all fascinating. If one of our grandparents came back, to life and they saw America now, what do you think they would be saying? What if your grandpa came back? What do you think he'd be saying?
Oh, well, that would be with all of them.
Yeah. I mean, I think they would be mind blown, not only with the ways of technology, but the ways of how people hate our country. It just blows me away.
I know from the chat line, bringing up 1776. If you want freedom, you have to fight for it. But what does it mean to fight for it in 2024?
That's a very good question, because I have said
it's fun to say it and wear the shirts, but
yeah.
But what does it mean?
Right, to fight for it. You're right, because at this point, I talked to a gentleman yesterday that he was a very proud Marine, and he told me yesterday that he went in because he wanted to fight for this country, but he loves his 19-year-old son so much. He would tell them under the Biden administration, don't go in anything but the Air Force. Nothing. Now, that was his opinion. He said, because I love my son so much that literally being on the front lines as a Marine under Joe Biden, he said, all you have to do is remember Afghanistan. That's all you have to do. And that's sad when very proud military people, we fight different, I guess, because people don't want their children in the military. And we are fighting different, so to speak. A lot of people do believe that we're in World War III, but we're fighting a different type of a fight this time around.
Okay. I'm still trying to break down and give some advice on what's happening with this court case, and I'm not going to get it. I want it wrapped up in a bow, and I know I'm not going to get it.
You're not going to have it wrapped up in a bow. You're not today, because think about this. It's purposely so difficult to understand, because a lot of it is you can't wrap it up in a bow because it's made up. It's all made up. And Robert saying, Jonathan Turley, reading through this opinion, presidential immunity, I don't see how there isn't cardiac arrest for the special counsel.
I don't understand. I don't know what that means.
I guess it's just to the point of what you are saying, what you and I are saying. You can't wrap it up. It causes you heart palpitations, even talking about it, that people today would go into cardiac arrest if they really understood what's all going on.
Oh, yeah. And yep. So much. Elected, not selected. We've heard that from that gentleman before as well.
We sure have.
Yeah. So, I mean, it continues to see as I look through all of, I just don't see how Jack Smith couldn't continue a prosecution. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I guess we'll see. But it looks to me like he could very well go ahead with a prosecution. And we knew that these didn't make sense to start with.
That's right.
I just wish that they could stop it so he wasn't having to deal with it. That's what I would see as a win. If I'm wrong, fine. But I just think that he could continue to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's what I
think there'll be
see.
strings. I think that's why they're thinking it's a good thing for them. I think there's still strings on him, but he can, what you just said, Vic, he can just keep going on doing what he's doing, campaigning, going to rallies. So he's already has 34 felonies. He's already been impeached more than once. Do you think the American people even care? Because they've ruined things that meant something. An impeachment now means nothing. Felonies now to a president mean nothing.
No, that's true.
So, I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it really, no matter what, as long as he can keep doing what he's doing and they give him another conviction, but they don't give him jail time, he doesn't care anymore. It's one thing to have one felony, but when somebody gives you 34, that's where the Democrats always overplay their hand. If they just narrowed in on one thing Donald Trump had done bad, not Russia, and impeachment, 34 felonies. If they zeroed in on one thing and really got him for that, but see, they can't because he hasn't done anything wrong. And so they just throw everything at him everything, hoping something sticks, and nothing sticks. Nothing. because he hasn't done anything wrong. And now, say if Donald Trump did something, I can honestly tell you now, if Donald Trump went and robbed a bank, people now, because so many things actually
You're
happen.
probably right.
Really, he could go in, we could see him robbing a bank. And you know what people would say? What did that bank now do to you, Donald Trump? That bank must have done something to you. You go in there and get your 500,000 or $1 million.
Well,
That's what they've done.
Well, the liberal justices blistered the report, so they're not happy. So that may tell you something.
That sure might.
They say, well, Ketanji Brown Jackson said that this ruling breaks new and quote dangerous ground.
Yeah, that's right.
The court, there you go. So, we'll continue to follow. It'll be a big story the rest of the day, no doubt about that. Megan's still baffled that Congress can't see the her tapes.
Yeah.
Ben agrees with you, totally desensitized
Completely.
with everything that you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, that's what Gary's saying. Teflon Don, nothing sticks. And since he is Teflon Don, they can do anything to him now. They literally can, because more and more people are seeing it's unfair. So, Donald, go ahead. You rob that bank and you're going to get, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, that's literally what it is. And we know, as Pam is saying, the media is a puppeteer for the stupid Maine puppets. That's what's going on. And most of us see it now. And so even though we're all confused and trying to figure out what's going on today with Donald Trump, most people, as long as he can keep just doing what he's doing, they don't care if he gets another level of or layers of things they're accusing him of and that he's convicted of, or if he's now got a misdemeanor. They don't care. They don't care. They just want him to continue to campaign and go to rallies.
Also, trying to think of the other news that the court will have a couple other cases they're going to rule on as well. Obviously, none more important than the Trump case today. Teflon Don should never have had to go through the crap. Of course, he had.
Absolutely.
But at the same point in time, going through all of this has only solidified Donald Trump as the number one candidate for president. It has also allowed him an opportunity to show people who may not have known or liked or respected him before another side.
Correct.
It has also given him an opportunity to strengthen himself and find out who is loyal to him. So it seems like a horrible thing that has happened to him. And it is.
Yes,
and it's wrong.
It is awful.
What has been done to him and his family. We haven't even talked about the personal things that happened to his wife and his kids. But at the end of the day, if he's trying to be president, this has only helped him.
I agree with you, Vic, because when he gets in, he knows now who he could trust. One of Donald Trump's flaws is that he is so charismatic and people tended to like him. So when he got in there in 2016, he thought he could keep a lot of Obama's people and bring them around to his ways. And he learned he's dealing with a special kind of evil. So everything that he's dealing with, now he can see who's loyal. He can see who understands. And so I think that we thought his presidency in 2016 was great. His 2024 is going to be so tremendous. It's going to be huge. It's going to be bigly, as he says. So, I mean, it's going to be good because now he knows what's up. He knows who the true snakes were. He didn't know them before, because how would you? How would you? And the swamp was much deeper than he ever thought. He's going to not do what he did the last time. The last time he tried to woo Obama's people over. This time he's not going to woo the Biden-Obama people. He's going to clean house and bring in all the people he can trust. That's a game changer.
If the Black Swan event doesn't happen before then, Lizzie.
Well, it could.
And there's an election.
You're right. I mean, that is naive for me to think that a Black Swan event isn't going to happen, because it very well could. I'm going to keep in my brain that he's going to get elected bigly in 2024, and he's going to change anything until the Black Swan events. Then when the Black Swan event comes, and when and if it comes, it's not going to be even what we think it is. They are so bad and evil and nefarious. For the 14th time, I've said the word nefarious this morning. Literally, we're not even going to see it coming.
Judge Roberts was clear about one thing that comes out right now, that, remember, Donald Trump lost 2 lower court decisions, which is why it ended up at the Supreme Court.
Right.
But Roberts made it pretty clear that the court determines what they continue to be an official act cannot be used as evidence in a criminal trial, meaning it's entirely off limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, nothing else really. I thought something new would have been there. I just
Yeah.
didn't see it. Okay. Democrats don't appear to be happy, though. They just don't seem to be happy about what happened.
Well, and I'm thinking they wouldn't be happy unless Donald Trump was in jail
Well-
behind bars with another felony. They're not going to be happy.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. That may not be the case
Mhm.
for them. But at the same point in time, we love you guys for joining us every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. If you can't watch us live all the time, go back, watch it on the website, canceltheshow.com. We loaded up all the shows, X, Facebook, Rumble, YouTube. You can listen to us, Cloud Hub, Apple, Spotify. We're all over the place. We appreciate it. If you know of any other advertiser sponsors we could team with, Vic at canceltheshow.com, Lizzie at canceltheshow.com. Any supporters of the show, let us know from that standpoint. We love your story ideas, anything else that we can possibly do. And of course, any donations on our page from your phone or your website. Any donations help pay all the bills that we have here so that we can continue our free speech platform that we rock and roll with. Joe, I know we didn't get to the 13-year-old. We're going to get to that story tomorrow. I promise. We have to get to that tomorrow. It's just we had too much good stuff going on today. Anything else before we get out of here?
No, I mean, just everything that we were talking about today is just daunting enough. So we can talk about the 13-year-old tomorrow.
It is daunting, isn't it?
It is daunting. It really is daunting.
We could also talk about all the pride parades getting interrupted, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, the pride parades ended this weekend. I mean, but it's again, and guess who it is? It's the Middle East support, Gaza, Hamas, Hezbollah.
Yeah.
Interrupting, starting fights with the gay community.
You can't make this stuff up. I mean, you go to a gay pride parade and all of a sudden the pro-Palestinians are there, literally chaining themselves up to things and getting arrested. And part of that all happened in St. Louis, but it's happened all over. You talk about being a shit show this weekend, and I'll just bring it up briefly. St. Louis was a shit show. I mean, there was a wedding in St. Louis City somewhere that the groom got shot in the head at 1 o'clock in the morning, and the person is still missing. Came to steal stuff, didn't even steal anything. The groom is in critical condition. Then you've got pro-Palestinians there at a gay pride march, messing it all up. I mean, and this ties with what we were talking about. This is part of the plan to make people hate each other. Don't fall for it. Today, my biggest advice is tell everybody that you see, hi, have a great day, and be nice, even if you know they're a liberal. Even if you know they're a liberal, just say hi.
Schedule. We will not be here Thursday. I'm trying to decide about Friday. If we can figure out something else for Thursday, we'll pop that in there. So somebody was asking what our show ideas were for the week. And one other thing I wanted to leave you with before we get out of here today, Tucker Carlson from early this morning regarding the whole situation with Biden and Obama. Because if you didn't know, we were talking about Obama and the DNC. Everybody supporting Joe Biden. He's the best guy.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker Carlson said, quote, from an unusually good source, Obama's tweet supporting Joe Biden was disingenuous. In private, Obama is telling people that Biden can't win, and he is therefore in favor of an open convention.
Of course.
Obama will not say whom he supports, nor, as of yesterday afternoon,
Michael Michelle,
had he met personally with anybody.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting to at least bring that forward.
I'm glad you brought that up.
As we leave you today. So guys, we love you. Thanks so much. Lots to talk about. For Pro Joe, Lizzie Sparks, I'm Vic Faust. That does it for what we affectionately call the fastest 2 hours in podcast because of you guys jumping in. Like, subscribe, share our show. Please donate if you can. Anything helps. We're on Facebook, X. You can catch us on YouTube. We're on Rumble as well. We go to the audio platforms as well. And if you have story ideas and guests, please let us know. Have an awesome day. Once again, for Pro Joe, Lizzie Sparks, I'm Vic Faust. Everybody have an awesome day. We'll talk to you next time.